This semester, our team has worked with the Institute for Operations Research and the Management Sciences, or INFORMS, who host a public database of undergraduate and master's data analytics programs. However, in the past, INFORMS has had no system in place in order to update the information stored about each analytics program. The purpose of our project was to create a system that would allow administrators for each university to log onto the INFORMS website and update the information for their program or courses tied to their program.
We started our project with discussions with Dr. Mellick, an operations management professor here at the University of Alabama. He served as our project champion for this semester. From there, we were connected with Mr. Raj Reddy and his team at the INFORMS IT department, who provided technical feedback throughout the course of the project. It was during these initial interactions with Dr. Mellick and the INFORMS team that our project began to take shape and we began to develop our initial product backlog.
Oh, hello there, I didn't see you. We developed our project using a LAMP development stack, which consists of Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP. With this, we wrote most of our code using our website in PHP, a common open source language used in web development. Our site is hosted on INFORMS AWS servers. We will show you how we developed our project using an Agile Scrum methodology over the course of this video.
The product backlog is where we track all functionality that can be designed and built in future sprints. This backlog, if incomplete, will live beyond the life of our project to be picked up by another team. The product backlog is divided into epics, which define each section of major functionality to be built. Each epic is made up of user stories that define a single specific function and provide their perspective of which user it impacts, what they will be able to do, and why. Each user story is defined by acceptance criteria that are the specific requirements needed to complete the user story.
Before we begin each sprint, we meet as a team for a planning poker session where we will determine an estimation on how difficult each story on our product backlog would be to complete. During this session, each story is read aloud to the team, who will then estimate how many story points or days of work that a single story will take to complete. Once each team member has given their estimate, we will discuss any discrepancies across the team. Once we come to an agreement on the number of story points that we believe the user story will take to complete, that user story is ready to be included in a sprint.
To kick off each sprint, we meet with our clients for a sprint planning meeting. The purpose of this meeting is to allow our clients to select which user stories are most important to them for us to complete in the upcoming sprint. At the start of our meeting, our clients are told how many story points our team will be able to complete during the sprint. With this number, our clients spend story points to move their user stories from the product backlog to the new sprint backlog. Once all story points are spent, we will have our sprint backlog and we'll be ready to start our next sprint.
So during our first full sprint, we completed several foundational user stories, which gave us time to set up access to the INFORMS AWS servers and for our team to complete some PHP training.
During this sprint, we also set up a live website that would give anyone the ability to access our application from a specific URL. This allowed our clients to access our website and perform external testing throughout the project. This sprint was essential to the project's success as we laid the groundwork for the rest of the development, as well as caught the team up to speed with the unfamiliar technologies used.
Oh hey, I was just wrapping up a little bit of work. During our second sprint, we were able to complete a lot of front-end website design, as well as some back-end database work that was crucial to our project's success. We were able to complete the program administrator homepage and the update program information form. Our client and sponsor were very helpful in collaborating design ideas in order for us to produce a project that created the most value for potential users. Some database manipulation was required for this sprint in order for us to be able to perform the front-end functionalities that our project entailed.
Before a user story can be completed, it must go through what is called the definition of done. Once user stories are chosen during a sprint planning meeting, they are put into the current sprint backlog. Once work is started on the user story, it is moved into design and mockups for the story are produced.
The design of the user story is then moved to BA review to give the client the ability to make suggestions or approve of the design created by the team. Once design approval is given, the user story is moved to build.
At the conclusion of the building phase, the user stories are moved into internal tests to signify the testing that needs to be done by the team. After internal testing, the user story is published to our live site.
Our clients are then able to test the user story by filling out the test log that we create for each user story. Once external testing is passed by the client, the user story can be moved to done.
Alright, that sounds good. I'll see you Monday. During our third sprint, we completed a functioning login page that can be utilized for program administrators in the future. We also completed the functionality to allow for course manipulation for program administrators. In this sprint, we also completed some major aesthetic changes to our website as instructed by our client and sponsor.
Oh hey guys! In our final sprint, we added additional finishing touches to the user interface of both the Program Admin and the Informs Admin pages. During this sprint, we completed all functionality for the Informs Admin page. Much of the work for this sprint was in adding back-end functionality to allow updated program and course information to be approved or denied. We were also able to lay the groundwork for the email notification system that will be expanded upon in the future.
Let's go ahead and share our screen.
At the end of each sprint, we meet with our clients one more time for a sprint review meeting.
That's good.
During this meeting, we demo the functionality for each user story that we completed during the sprint in order to get the final approval for each user story.
So again, the purpose of this meeting today is to kind of review what we did throughout the course of this past 2 weeks. So let's go story by story. Now we can switch over to the Trello board.
If our clients have any feedback for these user stories that did not come up during testing, we will include that feedback as defect resolution or potentially as a new user story that we will put in our product backlog.
So we'll just walk through.
So after each sprint review, we met with our team without our client or sponsors for what we call a sprint retrospective. During this session, we would review the success of the recently completed sprint. We discuss what we think worked well, what could be improved, as well as a plan and vision for the next sprint. These sessions were crucial to the success of our project as we were able to improve our efficiency as the project moved on.
I think this is Raj Reddy from Informs. I'm the IT director, and I oversee the whole IT department. Informs is a scientific organization. It's an association of around 13,000 members. This organization is specialized in operational research. Informs headquarters is located on UMBC campus, which is on Catonsville, Maryland. We are in between Baltimore and Washington. So we are on UMBC Technology campus. As you all know, Informs IT department is a small subsegment of Informs. We have around 6 people in it, and always we fight on the resources. Because there are many projects going on at the same time, our resources is always an issue. And at this point, what happened is we had a project called Teaching Analytics site. It's a database. So we created a database identifying all the universities who are teaching analytics course and under what specific departments. So that's where we started this project. And with the smallest IT team, our programmers developed this particular database, putting all the universities who teach this particular analytics courses, but the system was a bare skeleton. Due to resource availability, we could not get the system completely done. So we worked with the University of Alabama Capstone project students to help us out to develop a system to automate all these features and build a system based on our business needs, which helps all other universities and also the students. The students also can look at, okay, if a specific university is teaching this, what are the prerequisites of this particular coursework? So they will be able to find the prerequisite, which semester is teaching, who is teaching it, and all the details can be seen through this system. We work with the Capstone project students, and I think we have come up with a very good solution. It was a very successful program, because there was a heavy involvement from the students and the faculty, and this was a very, very good partnership, and the project requirements were met. So we had to give kudos to the students who did a wonderful job. The students kept us informed all the time. A systematic approach was used. Methodology was well followed. I think they used agile methodology, and the timeline, what they promised, was met very accurately. And I think the project presentation was done extremely well at every stage of the project, and they met all the requirements. I think we greatly admire when they follow the systematic approach of the software development. That is the way how the students would be trained. At the beginning, I thought when they started approaching the procedures, I thought the students were PhD students. Later, I learned that they were undergrad students and they were about to complete their undergraduate. Kudos to the people who have trained them. I greatly admire this effort, this following the right procedures, their disciplinary. At the same time, the presentation skills were excellent. And this is what any practitioner companies need. These are the type of students, or these are the futuristic members who can grow in the organization in the software development cycle. So I really commend this team on building this project to the satisfaction of Informs and creating a very high bar standards from the university level and building a very good partnership Capstone project. And I wish them all the good luck on this project. Thank you.